resulting in laws and decisions that leading the entire nation toward peace and prosperity. We pray, Lord, that these your servants that you have given the President and the nation at large will be men and women that seek only what is good before you and good for your people. Grant them wisdom so that in the course of their duty to advise the President, in the course of action it should take in leading our nation, there will be sound and wise counsel that will bring peace and stability and hope. We pray against the divisiveness that many times plague our land and institutions. We humbly plead that in your strength, these your servants would work together in humility to serve for the good of our nation and for the progress of all the citizens, so that we can enjoy freedom, security, and the progress of the citizens. Heavenly Father, source of all goodness, by your mighty hand, we pray that you will be merciful to our nation to work in the hearts of these men and women to whom you give authority. May they never lose sight of the fact that our hope is in you. By your power, teach us as a nation to live the realization in the forefront of our minds that our citizens and citizenship is in heaven. We commit our future as a nation and as your people to your hands, as pilgrims of hope who are constantly together in prayer. And we ask all this through Christ our Lord. Amen.
Your Excellency, you may take your position on the arena. You may get seated. Your Excellency, the President, Your Excellency, the Deputy President, the leadership of Parliament, led by the majority leaders and other leaders in the houses, Cabinet Secretaries designate and all other serving members of Cabinet, Principal Secretaries designate and all serving Principal Secretaries, the top command of our security organs present, honored guests, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Your Excellency, this state ceremony convenes for the swearing in and administration of the solemn oath of office to the 2 newly appointed Cabinet Secretaries and 14 Principal Secretaries. The swearing in ceremony honors the constitutional imperative set forth under Article 152(4) of the Constitution, as read with Article 74, which stipulates, and I quote, "A Cabinet Secretary assumes office by swearing or affirming faithfulness to the people and the Republic of Kenya and obedience to this Constitution before the President and in accordance with the 3rd schedule." And further that, before assuming a state office, acting in a state office, or performing any function in a state office, a person shall take and subscribe to the oath or affirmation of office. Your Excellency, sir, following your presidential nomination of the 2 Cabinet Secretaries and 14 Principal Secretaries, the National Assembly conducted approval hearings on 4th, 7th, and 14th April 2025. Thereafter, the House considered and adopted the reports of the Committee on Appointments and the 10 departmental committees of the National Assembly, thereby approving all 16 nominees for appointment. In fulfillment of the requirements under the Public Appointments Parliamentary Approvals Act, and in accordance with the standing orders of the National Assembly, the House formally transmitted the certificate of approval to Your Excellency on 16th April 2025. Subsequently, and in exercise of the powers vested in the President under Articles 152(2) and Article 155(3) of the Constitution, Your Excellency appointed the nominees as Cabinet Secretaries and Principal Secretaries. These state appointments are notified through a special issue of the Kenya Gazette as notices number 4834 and 4835 of 2025. With all constitutional and legal requirements now fully discharged, this state ceremony is convened in law and in keeping with the established state traditions. Your Excellency, it is my distinct honor and high privilege to now present to you the newly appointed state officers. The appointees will individually take and subscribe to their solemn oath or affirmation of office, binding their service to the Constitution and to the people of Kenya. With Your Excellency's kind indulgence, I now call upon Ms. Hannah Wendot Cheptumo, Cabinet Secretary, Ministry of Gender, Culture, the Arts, and Heritage. Welcome.
Ms. Hannah Wendot is an experienced advocate of the High Court of Kenya and cooperative management professional. She has also served as a member of the Disciplinary Tribunal of the Institute of Certified Public Accountants, ISPAC. Hannah holds a diploma in cooperative management from the Cooperative College of Kenya, a Bachelor of Law LLB degree from the University of Nairobi, and a postgraduate diploma in law from the Kenya School of Law. You may now proceed to the swearing-in arena.
I, Anna Wendot Cheptumo, being appointed a Cabinet Secretary of Kenya, do swear that I will at all times be faithful to the Republic of Kenya, that I will obey, respect, and uphold this Constitution of Kenya and all other laws of the Republic, that I will well and truly serve the people and the Republic of Kenya in the office of Cabinet Secretary, that I undertake to hold my office as Cabinet Secretary with honor and dignity, that I will be a true and faithful counselor to the President for the good management of the public affairs of the Republic of Kenya, that I will not diverge directly or indirectly such matters as shall come to my knowledge in the discharge of my duties, and committed to my secrecy except as may be required for the due discharge of my duties as Cabinet Secretary, and that I will perform the functions of my office conscientiously and to the best of my ability. So help me God.
Your Excellency, Sir, permit me now to invite Honorable Geoffrey K. Kiringa Ruku, Cabinet Secretary for Public Service, Human Capital Development and Special Programs.
Honorable Geoffrey Kiringa Ruku is the immediate former Member of Parliament from Beren North constituency in the National Assembly of Kenya. He is an accomplished political leader and financial professional. Honorable Ruku holds a Bachelor of Commerce degree in Business Administration from the Catholic University of East Africa, a postgraduate diploma in Diplomacy and International Relations, and a Master of Business Administration. You may now proceed to the swearing-in arena.
I, Geoffrey Kiringa Ruku, being appointed a Cabinet Secretary of Kenya, do swear that I will at all times be faithful to the Republic of Kenya, that I will obey, respect, and uphold this Constitution of Kenya and all the laws of the Republic, that I will well and truly serve the people of the Republic of Kenya in the office of the Cabinet Secretary, that I undertake to hold my office as Cabinet Secretary with honor and dignity, that I will be a true and faithful counselor to the President for the good management of the public affairs of the Republic of Kenya, that I will not diverge directly or indirectly such matters as shall come to my knowledge in the discharge of my duties and committed to my secrecy, except as may be required for the due discharge of my duties as Cabinet Secretary. And I will perform my functions of my office conscientiously and to the best of my ability. So help me God.
With Your Excellency's gracious approval, I now present the 14 appointees designated to serve the Republic as Principal Secretaries. Sir, to commence the role of Principal Secretaries, I now call upon Dr. Jane Kere Imbunya, Principal Secretary, Designate State Department for Public Service and Human Capital Development.
Dr. Jane Kere Imbunya is the immediate former Dean of School of Education and Social Sciences in Kaimosi Friends University. She has excellent skills gained from leading teams across institutions to accomplish complex tasks. Dr. Imbunya holds a Bachelor of Education degree in Arts from the University of Nairobi, a Master's of Education degree, a Master of Philosophy degree, and a Doctor of Philosophy degree from the University of Botswana. You may now proceed to the swearing-in arena.
I, Jane Kere Imbunya, being called on to exercise the functions of Principal Secretary, do solemnly affirm that except with the authority of the President, I will not directly or indirectly reveal the nature or contents or any business, proceedings, or documents of the Cabinet committed to my secrecy, except as may be required for the due discharge of my duties as such Principal Secretary.
Your Excellency, permit me now to invite Ms. Regina Akoth Ombam, State Department for Trade, Investment and Industry.
Ms. Regina Akoth Ombam is a former regional health financial expert at the East Africa Community Secretariat Health Department. She is an economics and healthcare finance professional with vast experience in Kenya and East Africa. Ms. Ombam holds a Bachelor of Arts degree in anthropology from the University of Nairobi and a Master of Arts degree in public administration from Columbia. You may now proceed to the swearing-in arena.
I, Regina Akoth Ombam, being called on to exercise the functions of Principal Secretary, do swear that, except with the authority of the President, I will not directly or indirectly reveal the nature or contents of any business, proceedings, or document of the Cabinet committed to my secrecy, except as may be required for the due discharge of my duties as such Principal Secretary. So help me God.
Sir, permit me now to invite Mr. Cyril Odede Wangunda, State Department for Public Investments and Asset Management, the National Treasury and Economic Planning.
Is a former lecturer at the Kenya School of Revenue Administration. He is a top-notch professional tackling cutting-edge economic and financial issues in a dynamic, fast-paced environment while embracing good governance. Mr. Wagunda holds a Bachelor of Commerce degree, a Master of Arts degree in Economic from Nagpur University in India. Kindly progress to the swearing-in arena.
I, Cyril Odede Wagunda, being called upon to exercise the function of Principal Secretary, do swear that, except with the authority of the President, I will not directly or indirectly reveal the nature or contents of any business, proceedings, or documents of the Cabinet committed to my secrecy, except as may be required by the due discharge of my duties as such Principal Secretary. So help me God.
Your Excellency, I call upon Dr. Caroline Wanjiru Karugu, State Department for East African Community Affairs, Ministry of ESC and ASALS and Regional Development.
Dr. Caroline Wanjiru Karugu is a former financial investment and devolution consultant at France Shock Consultancy Limited and a former deputy governor of county or government of Nyeri. Dr. Karugu holds a Bachelor of Commerce, double major degree in Business Administration and Management and a Marketing from Daystar University, a Global Executive Master in Business Administration degree in Strategy from USIU in collaboration with Frankfurt School of Finance Management, and a Doctor of Business Administration degree in Finance from USIU in collaboration with the Columbia Business Administration University School of Business. You may now progress to this swearing-in arena.
I, Caroline Wanjiru Karugu, being called on to exercise the functions of Principal Secretary, do swear that, except with the authority of the President, I will not directly or indirectly reveal the nature or contents of any business, proceedings, or documents of the Cabinet committed to my secrecy, except as may be required for the due discharge of my duties as Principal Secretary. So help me God.
Sir, permit me now to invite Dr. Frederick Ouma Oluga, State Department for Medical Services, Ministry of Health.
Dr. Frederick Ouma Oluga is the immediate former acting director and head of Directorate of the Health Sector Coordination and Research Development at the Ministry of Health, a seasoned healthcare professional and leader with over 15 years experience. Dr. Oluga holds a Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery degree from the Moi University and a Master of Medicine degree in Internal Medicine from the University of Nairobi. He was awarded a medium-term monitoring and evaluation fellowship by the Institute of Tropical Infectious Disease at the University of Nairobi. Kindly progress to the swearing-in arena.
I, Oluga Frederick Ouma, being called on to exercise the functions of Principal Secretary, do swear that, except with the authority of the President, I will not directly or indirectly reveal the nature or content of any business, proceedings, or document of the Cabinet committed to my secrecy, except as may be required for the due discharge of my duties as such Principal Secretary. So help me God.
Your Excellency, I call upon Honorable Hamed Abdisalan Ibrahim, State Department for National Government Coordination, Office of the Prime Cabinet Secretary.
Honorable Ahmed Abdisalan Ibrahim is a dedicated leader with over 20 years' experience in public administration, peace and conflict advocacy, and regional management. He is the immediate former Member of Parliament for Wajir North constituency. Honorable Ibrahim holds a diploma in library science and information studies from the Technical University of Kenya and a Bachelor of Science degree in information science from the Kenya Methodist University. Kindly progress to the swearing-in arena.
I, Ahmed Abdisalan Ibrahim, being called upon to exercise the functions of Principal Secretary, do swear that except with the authority of the President, I will not directly or indirectly reveal the nature or contents of any business, proceedings, or document of the Cabinet committed to my secrecy, except as may be required for the discharge of my duties as such Principal Secretary. So help me God.
Sir, permit me now to invite Honorable Judith Nayai Ramaita Pareno, State Department for Justice, Human Rights, and Constitutional Affairs, Office of the Attorney General.
Honorable Judith Nayai Ramaita Pareno is an advocate of the High Court of Kenya of over 20 years. Her other previous roles include serving as Director of the Kajiado County Investment Authority, Member of Parliament, and Member of East Africa Legislative Assembly, IALA. Honorable Pareno holds a Bachelor of Law LLB degree from the University of Nairobi and a postgraduate diploma in law from the Kenya School of Law. You may kindly proceed to the swearing-in arena.
I, Judith Nayai Ramaita Pareno, being called on to exercise the functions of Principal Secretary, do swear that, except with the authority of the President, I will not directly or indirectly reveal the nature of contents of any business, proceedings, or documents of the Cabinet committed to my secrecy, except as may be required for the due discharge of my duties as Principal Secretary. So help me God.
Your Excellency, I now call upon Mr. Boniface Barasa Makoha, State Department for Economic Planning, the National Treasury, and Economic Planning.
Mr. Boniface Barasa Makoha is a former resource mobilization and partnership expert at the United Nations Partner Program on transforming gender norms and harmful cultural practices in Burundi. Mr. Makoha holds a Bachelor in Education degree in Science from Kenyatta University, a Master of Science degree in Physics from Mount Kenya University, and is currently pursuing a doctorate in Mediation and Conflict Resolution. Please proceed to the swearing-in arena.
I, Boniface Barasa Makoha, being called on to exercise the functions of Principal Secretary, do swear that, except with the authority of the President, I will not directly or indirectly reveal the nature or contents of any business, proceedings, or document of the Cabinet committed to my secrecy, except as may be required for the due discharge of my duties as such Principal Secretary. So help me God.
Your Excellency, permit me now to invite Professor Shaukat Ali Abdul Razak, State Department for Science, Research and Innovation, Ministry of Education.
Professor Shaukat Ali Abdul Razak is the immediate former director of Africa Technical Cooperation Department at the International Atomic Energy Agency in Vienna, Australia. He is a public service professional with local and international experience spanning over 37 years. Professor Abdul Razak holds a postgraduate diploma in animal nutrition, a Master of Science degree and Doctor of Philosophy degree from the University of Aberdeen, and a postgraduate diploma in Innovation and Change from York St. John University. Kindly progress to the swearing-in arena.
I, Shaukat Abdul Razak, being called on to exercise the functions of the Principal Secretary, do swear that, except with the authority of the President, I will not directly or indirectly reveal the nature or contents of any business, proceedings, or documents of Cabinet committed to my secrecy, except as may be required for the due discharge of my duties as such Principal Secretary. So help me God.
Your Excellency, I call upon Mr. Stephen Isaboke, State Department for Broadcasting and Telecommunication, Ministry of ICT and Digital Economy.
Mr. Stephen Isaboke is a former technology, media, oil and gas and renewable energy consultant in Kenya and the United Arab Emirates. Mr. Isaboke holds a Bachelor of Commerce degree in Business Administration from the University of Nairobi, a postgraduate diploma in marketing from the Chartered Institute of Marketing in the United Kingdom, and a Master of Business Administration degree in Strategic Management from the University of Nairobi. Kindly progress to the arena.
I, Stephen Mutari Isaboke, being called on to exercise the functions of Principal Secretary, do swear that, except with the authority of the President, I will not directly or indirectly reveal the nature or contents of any business, proceedings, or document of the Cabinet committed to my secrecy, except as may be required for the due discharge of my duties as such Principal Secretary. So help me God.
Sir, permit me now to invite Mr. Michael Lenathalon, State Department for Devolution, Office of the Deputy President.
Mr. Michael Lenasalon is a former senior investigations officer on fraud investigations at the Kenya Revenue Authority. He's an experienced data analysis, modeling, and extraction on open source intelligence professional. Mr. Lenasalon holds a Bachelor of Software Engineering degree from the Kenyatta University and a Master of Science degree in Forensic Computing and Cybercrime Investigations from University College Dublin in Ireland. Kindly progress to the swearing-in arena.
I, Michael Oikenu Lenasalon, being called on to exercise the functions of Principal Secretary, do swear that, except with the authority of the President, I will not directly or indirectly reveal the nature or contents of any business, proceedings, or documents of the Cabinet committed to my secrecy, except as may be required for the due discharge of my duties as such Principal Secretary. So help me God.
Your Excellency, I now call upon Mr. Fikirini Jacobs Katoi Kahindi, State Department for Youth Affairs, Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports.
Mr. Fikirini Jacobs Katoi Kahindi is the immediate former director of the Governor's Delivery Unit in the County Government of Kilifi. His other role was working as coordinator for Ganze Sub-County at the Office of the Senator for Kilifi County. Mr. Kahindi holds a Bachelor of Arts degree in Philosophy from Pwani University. Kindly progress to the swearing-in arena.
I, Fikirini Jacobs Katoi Kahinde, being called on to exercise the functions of Principal Secretary, do swear that, except with the authority of the President, I will not directly or indirectly reveal the nature or contents of any business, proceedings, or documents of the Cabinet committed to my secrecy, except as may be required for the due discharge of my duties as such Principal Secretary. So help me God.
Sir, permit me now to invite CPA Karen Agengo Achieng, State Department for Children, Welfare Affairs, Ministry of Labor and Social Protection.
CPA Karen Agengo Achieng is the immediate former manager of the Public Sector Division of the Domestic Taxes Department at the Kenya Revenue Authority, KRA. CPA Achieng holds a Bachelor of Education degree in Accounting and Mathematics from the University of Nairobi and a Master's in Business Administration degree in Finance from Moi University. She is also trained accountant at her professional affiliations include memberships to the Institute of Certified Public Accountants of Kenya, ISPAC, and the Information System Audit and Control Association. You may progress to the swearing-in arena.
I, Karen Achieng Agengo, being called on to exercise the functions of the Principal Secretary, do swear that, except with the authority of the President, I will not directly or indirectly reveal the nature or contents of any business, proceedings, or document of the Cabinet committed to my secrecy, except as may be required for the due discharge of my duties as the Principal Secretary. So help me God.
Your Excellency, to conclude the administration of oaths, permit me now to invite Mr. Aden Abdimila, State Department for Shipping and Maritime Affairs, Ministry of Mining, Blue Economy, and Maritime Affairs.
Mr. Aden Abdi Miller is the immediate Deputy Director and Head of Department of Motor Vehicle Registration and National Transport and Safety Authority, NTSA. Mr. Miller holds a Bachelor of Electrical Engineering degree from the University of Minnesota Institute of Technology, Twin Cities, and a Master of Business Administration degree in Human Resource Management from Mount Kenya University. He also has a Diploma in Electrical Engineering from Jomo Kenyatta International University. Kindly progress to the swearing-in arena.
I, Aden Abdi Mila, being called on to exercise the functions of Principal Secretary, do swear that, except with the authority of the President, I will not directly or indirectly reveal the nature or the contents of any business, proceedings, or documents of the Cabinet committed to my secrecy, except as may be required for the due discharge of my duties as such Principal Secretary. So help me God.
Your Excellency, with the formal assumption of office by the 2 cabinet secretaries and 14 principal secretaries, the leadership of the executive is now even stronger, more dynamic, and better equipped to accelerate the delivery of the administration's plan, the bottom-up economic transformation agenda. Sir, in culminating this state ceremony, it is now my distinct honor and high privilege to invite Your Excellency to convey your congratulations to the newly sworn-in state officers and to address the nation on this momentous occasion. Ladies and gentlemen, may we all rise as we welcome His Excellency, the President.
Thank you very much. Let's take our seats. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I welcome you all to witness the appointment of successful nominees to various high responsibility positions within the national executive. I commend each of you for stepping forward to serve the nation at the highest levels of government, and I congratulate all of you on your successful navigating rigorous vetting process and securing parliamentary approval. I must emphasize, if you are not already aware, that the real test begins today. You can only afford a brief pause before plunging into the deep end of public affairs, where scrutiny is rigorous, relentless, and unforgiving. I trust you possess the knowledge, experience, and resilience, not only to endure the demands of your new roles, but to serve the people of Kenya with diligence, loyalty, integrity, and compassion. I am confident that you understand this context better than most, not only because you experienced it during vetting, but also because you made the significant life and career decision to join government at a time when public expectations are exceptionally high. Every day, we face numerous diverse and forceful allegations, accusations, and demands. We must take them seriously, always remembering that as the executive, we are the trustees of the people and ultimately accountable for the use of public authority and public resources. The people are highly conscious that only by efficiently providing services to every citizen in every part of Kenya and managing each sector to enable workers and entrepreneurs to seize opportunities will we recover lost ground and achieve the prosperity we all aspire to. Expectations have never been higher, and failure is not an option. Our only valid response to criticism and demands is to perform our duties in a manner that increases public confidence in government. You are joining the executive at a defining midpoint, a moment that calls for greater effort and deeper commitment to achieving a national transformation that leaves nobody behind. You have been called to serve, not for personal gain, but to contribute to a team working to consolidate our progress and accelerate the implementation of our bold transformation agenda. This mission demands focus, diligence, professionalism, accountability, and tireless dedication. I say that in the context that this morning I have just referred back to Parliament the Conflict of Interest Law or Bill, because in my opinion, it doesn't meet the threshold of the expectations of the people of Kenya. As public servants, we cannot afford to carry the baggage of self-interest into public service. And we must take accountability with the seriousness it deserves. I expect both houses of Parliament to exercise leadership in making sure that we get a piece of law that will help us manage and eliminate eventually matters corruption that in many cases come as a result of conflict of interest for public officials who serve not the public but their interest. Our collective mission is clear: to turbocharge our economy, create opportunities, beginning with jobs for the youth, deliver universal health care, reform agriculture, expand affordable housing, fix education, improve infrastructure, ensure access to clean water and electricity, and to do all this with unprecedented speed and scale. I say so because today here, I welcome the men and women, young and seasoned, to public service. The balance between the energy, innovation, creativity of young people and the seasoned leaders who come with immense experience into this space is a good combination to energize this administration at this midpoint. And it is because there are three things that are fundamental. One, because of the provisions and the imperative of the Constitution to make sure that to the extent possible, we must be inclusive. It is the only way that we can harness the talent, the energy, the ideas, and the contribution of as many of us as possible in making Kenya the country we want it to be. And that is why I have engaged in ensuring that we have a broad-based government that carries as many of us as possible. And let me say this for the record, that this broad-based administration, in my opinion, is what we need to make sure that we can take head on the things that we have always wanted to do as a nation, that no one side can do it on their own. We have always known that we need to reform our education, and we need to make sure that we have an education system that is fit for purpose. But we haven't been able to tell ourselves the truth about the cost of our education. And we have always pretended that we can do everything for everybody, even those who can afford to do things for themselves. I'm very happy that we have made now decisions to make sure that our education is properly aligned We have corrected the differences that we had in our CBC curriculum. We have mastered the resources to hire more teachers. And we have rolled out a funding model that supports our education institutions and ensures that children from poor backgrounds are supported adequately. I expect, going into the future, with our new team, that we will refine and make sure that no child in Kenya is left behind. We have always known what we wanted to do in agriculture, but we haven't mastered the courage to take head-on the cartels. I'm very happy that today we have registered almost 6 million farmers to deal with the fraud that was in the fertilizer distribution program. Today, fertilizer is distributed on a forger system, on a digital platform that identifies every farmer to their farms. And as a result, we have greater productivity of maize, of wheat, of sugar, of tea, of coffee. And I am very proud that today we are reporting more earnings for tea, better prices for coffee. In the next couple of weeks, we will have completed the reform of the sugar sector that will make it possible for our sugar sector to pay farmers on time, pay workers on time, and for the very first time, pay bonus to sugarcane farmers. That transformation in our agricultural sector is not only urgent, it's not only necessary, but we need to accelerate. And that is why the new team that is coming on board will help us turbocharge this process. I must also say, as a nation, we have always known that we have 7 million of our members of our communities living in squalor, in indecent, in hygienic neighborhoods as slums. In fact, we have statistics of 1,400 slums across Kenya. And we have always known that we needed to run a program on housing. In fact, we have had it in manifestos of all parties. Even in the last election, it was both in the manifesto of Kenya Kwanza, it was also in the manifesto of Azimio. But when the rubber meets the road, everybody wants to have excuses. I am very happy that together we have now rolled out our housing program. We have close to 160,000 houses being constructed around Kenya. In fact, I'm very proud that you go to any big town today. I was in Mandera, I was in Wajir, I was in Garissa, in Mombasa, in Nairobi, in Kisumu, in Eldoret. The largest single housing estate in all our towns today, including Nyeri, is affordable housing programs. As a result of the same program, 200 and almost 50 markets are being constructed around Kenya of the 400 that are planned. Real markets that are being constructed. We've just advertised for hostels for our students in TVETs in Kenya medical training centers, and in our universities. It's possibly going to be one of the largest infrastructure programs that Kenya has undertaken. You know how difficult that decision was. And it cannot be carried to the end with only one side of the political divide. We need to carry as many Kenyans on board as possible. Ladies and gentlemen, we all know as a nation that we have run a healthcare program that supports the majority in a very small way and the minority in a very big way. We have talked about universal health coverage. Ngilu tried, Professor Anyang' Nyong'o tried, the Jubilee administration, we tried. But I want to tell you, this is the moment. This is the administration. This broad-based government is the one that is going to deliver on universal health coverage. And I'm very proud of the progress that we are making. The last time we had the highest registration in health insurance was about 7-8 million. That was the highest ever. Under this program, we now have 21 million Kenyans. And you know what? On my dashboard here, every day, between 45 and 50,000 Kenyans register voluntarily, because many Kenyans have begun to experience that it is working. From just testimonies of friends, relatives, village mates, workmates, people are beginning to know that 80% of Kenyans who have never had a health insurance, today they have a chance to have a health insurance under this program. And let me tell you, the people who are registering are not those of us who have a job and a salary and a payslip. The 50,000 Kenyans who are registering every day are the people out there, the boda boda guys, the mamamboga guys, and all the other people. They have realized that this program carries everybody on board. And I was looking at the payment. Close to 20,000 people every day go through the means testing program. And they pay at the end for health insurance. We made a commitment that those who have no means to pay, the indigents, we're going to pay for them as the government of Kenya. But we're going to make sure that those who can afford the least will pay from 300 to what I pay as president, in the thousands, and everybody in between. I am very confident that going into the future, no Kenyan will be forced to sell their property to meet medical expenses. And that is the nation we all want to live in. But it's going to take more than one person or one side or one party. It's going to take the collective effort of as many Kenyans as are willing to be part of this enterprise. And I want to say this is the coming together of the willing. There is nobody who will be forced to be part of this transformation. It is the coming together of the willing, not to serve parochial, narrow, personal interests of leaders or individuals or parties, to serve the greater interest of the people of Kenya. It is the people of Kenya who want food on their table. And that is why transforming agriculture is important to all of us. It is the people of Kenya who want an affordable, accessible healthcare program that leaves nobody behind. It is the people of Kenya who want decent dwellings. And it is the people of Kenya who want us to create more jobs for the millions of young people who leave school and college every year. So, I want to welcome our new team members into this grand program of taking Kenya to the next level. And you know what? I will be leading from the front. Yes, I will be leading from the front. Because I have made a conscious decision that the difficult decisions this nation has always wanted to make and have not been made because of political expediency, I will make those decisions and pay the price if there is any to be paid. That's what it is. It is not always that somebody from not a very robust background from me becomes president. So, yes. And we are going to change this country. Believe you me, we are going to change this nation. Because that is what is required of us. And we must stay focused. We must stay focused. There are so many noises, but we must keep our eyes on the ball. Do not be distracted. You know? And I like making reference to the building of the wall in Nehemiah had been assigned. And there were so many characters, noises. There was some character there called Sanballat. There was another one called Tobias. They were in the social media saying, oh, you know, this thing will never happen. These people are useless. All they are telling us is lies. In fact, if a fox steps on this wall, it will collapse. There were so many stories. But the wall was built. So, I want to ask all of you, as members of this team, that let us focus on the transformation of Kenya. This is the time to do the things that Kenya has always wanted to do, so that we can stop talking about the potential of Kenya. We can unlock that potential and make it possibilities, opportunities, and take the country to the next level. So, I want to encourage you this morning and to ask all of us to come on board and take this country to the next level. You are now part of a broad-based government of loyal public servants united to deliver progress that will be remembered for generations. Your vision and mission must therefore transcend regional, gender, religious, and cultural, all in accordance with the solemn oath you have taken, without fear, favor, malice, or ill will. Every citizen must feel represented, heard, and served. To drive this inclusive transformation, and after due consultations, I have restructured government departments to align their mandates with emerging opportunities and to effectively meet the urgent challenges of our time. The expectation is clear. We are one cohesive team. While you will serve in different ministries, you are all part of a coordinated government working together to deliver results to the people of Kenya. Our approach will be unified, collaborative, and focused on outcomes, ensuring that government as a whole is more effective, more efficient than the sum of its parts. Going forward, note this: there is only one path to success in public service: through integrity, diligence, and patriotic service. Conversely, shortest way to failure is through indolence, apathy, theft, corruption, negligence, tribalism, and inability to work in a team. I am confident that the team that I have carefully selected and that has been approved by Parliament is going to serve with the integrity that is expected of you, the professionalism that will give us results, and the cohesion that will make our team succeed as one. On behalf of the people of Kenya, I invite you to bring your education, your experience, your knowledge, insight, integrity, and patriotism to bear in making this government more responsive, effective, and transformative. It is my prayer that the Almighty God will grant you the wisdom, motivation, vision, and character to serve effectively. I thank you very much, and I want to thank also members of your families who have come here. And I know very well that with their support, we will have a great team. Thank you very much. God bless you. And welcome to this team. Asanteni sana. And happy Easter to all of you.
All right, thank you, Your Excellency. One more round of applause for His Excellency. With your permission, we then will wind up with the national anthem. So if there are any that are seated, please let's be standing to finish off with the national anthem, the anthem. As we allow His Excellency to the frontage where we'll have quick photos. So if I may request that we take our seats, please. We'll invite the nominees together with their families to take a quick photo. Your Excellency, if we may progress to the frontage, to the other side where the doors are. And we'll do it in order of how they were sworn in. So Honorable Geoffrey Ruku, if you may kindly come together with the family. The rest of us, please, let's remain seated. We'll have His Excellency the President and His Excellency the Deputy President for the photo session. So Honorable Geoffrey Ruku to kindly come together with your family.
Well, that was a short ceremony here at a State House in Nairobi, where the president has just overseen the swearing-in ceremony of 2 cabinet secretaries and a host of 14 principal secretaries in the various state departments across the country. The president also used the occasion to make some few announcements, starting off with the conflict of interest bill. The president has clearly stated that he has not signed it. He has taken it back to the parliament. You do remember that the conflict of interest bill 2023 is set to, of course, provide a management for the public sector, where public servants are not allowed to venture into what he termed as a selfish interest within the private sector, as the bill had foreseen. And of course, the bill is meant to tackle corruption here in the country. You do know that the president, since taking over the reins as the 5th head of state, has been very vocal about this conflict of interest bill that is set to address the issue of corruption within the public sector. Also, the president has just announced that the reason behind of bringing the broad-based government with the ODM leader Raila Amolo Odinga was to address various other issues, where the president is seeking to achieve, of course, with the team, the bottom-up economic transformation agenda, with the head of state clearly stating that that cannot be achieved by only one side of the political divide. That's why he had to bring in the other side of the political divide, of course, led by the Orange Democratic Movement leader, that is Raila Amolo Odinga. Also, the president clearly stating some of the reforms that have been made within the various health sectors in the country. Starting off from agriculture, O'Brien, is that the president has talked about that 6 million farmers have been registered. The reason why they were registered is to ensure that they access the subsidized fertilizer that is currently going for 2,500 thereabout for the farmers to venture into the planting season. You do know we received the short rains here in the country, where the farmers have been urged to use the short rains to ensure that they get a bumper harvest. The president has also affirmed that they have adequately dealt with the cartels in the tea, coffee and sugar sector, where even the president has clearly stated that in the coming days the sugar sector will be clearly reformed here in the country, and farmers will be starting receiving bonuses on time. On housing, the president has clearly stated that 7 million Kenyans are already living in slums. 1,400 slums are within the country, and the president has clearly stated that 160,000 affordable housing projects have been, of course, being built across the country. Bottom line is the conflict of interest bill. The president has taken it back to parliament, as well as, of course, announcing why he and the ODM leader Raila Amolo Odinga had to come together to ensure service delivery to Kenyans. O'Brien, Kimani, my name is Abdiaziz Hashim. We'll duly inform you in our subsequent bulletins. Back to you now.
Well, and that is our reporter there, Abdiaziz Hashim, who has been at the State House the whole of this morning, actually, witnessing the swearing-in of the 14 principal secretaries and 2 cabinet secretaries who are now going to take over their responsibilities in different state departments. Well, we are now back here in studio. Time to discuss some critical issues here. This is Biz Check. Time is well spent. We're talking about 10:36, 36 minutes gone, and we'll try to catch it up here. This morning, we just want to have a look at what's happening in the world of geopolitics. When you talk to different people, different analysts, they'll tell you that the world is teetering on a 3rd world war. Yeah, that's right. When you look at what's happening in Russia and Ukraine, then the conflict between Israel and Houthis, and of course, the US President Donald Trump threatening to bomb Iranian nuclear sites, and of course, the conflict between Rwanda and DRC Congo. Plus, when you throw in this trade war between the United States, that is a question that I'll be posing to him. Plus, later on, we shall be looking at the question that I'll be posing to him. Plus, later on, we shall be looking at the industry of architects. Oh yeah, and quantity surveyors. There has been mumbling. I'll be asking the 2 presidents, what is the mumbling?